guys, Nowicki here, another episode of the KNStrongman blog. Not done one of these for maybe about a month now, so I figured let's do a little bit of an update. Nationals now is 6 weeks away. I actually just finished today. I had my last training session of a 4-week strength cycle. I mean, obviously we were training for strength before that, that specific block, but now this one that I just got done with was exactly heavier weights, just different method. And it's actually something I've not done before. Like the method that I was training today for the last 4 weeks is very different from what I've done before, and I found it extremely beneficial to the prep for nationals. So basically, 6 weeks out, I'm trying to think what's new. As most people now know, after the Arnold this year, I decided to take a bit of a different direction. I left the training crew that I was with. I actually started training by myself. I hired Andrew Triana, who's now the brains behind everything. He does all my nutrition, all my training, everything like that. And then I still work with my good friends. Justin Willis is Teamwork Therapy. He does all my rehab, and I was lucky enough that, when was it? I think it was start of May that Play Again Now actually contacted me and brought me on as one of their athletes. So I've been very lucky since the Arnold to have different opportunities and actually really grow as an athlete. I feel for many years, well, my whole career now, I was a heavyweight, and after the Arnold, I decided I need a change. I have to get the drive back for competition. So decided to come down to lightweight middleweight, not lightweight, middleweight 231 class, and compete as a 231. Try win my pro card at nationals, and then take it from the rest of the year. Try to go to Americas, and if possible, try and qualify for 105 kilo worlds out in Norway in the end of November. So everything's going great right now. My weight stabilized a little bit towards, when was that? Around 4th of July. Stabilized out at about 253. I came up from, I weighed in at 231 for Colorado's Strongest Man on June 12th, competed June 13th, and then I was back home in the UK for a week. And I think just not training, being off the schedule with diet really sort of played a fact, and came back up. My weight came back up a little bit to, I believe I was 256 when I got back from that trip on July 6th. So now weight's come back down. I've actually seen a lot of gains in just in terms of the weight coming down the last few weeks. I stabilized, let me think, when was that now? 3 weeks ago now? 2 weeks? 2 weeks ago now. I was out of town with my girlfriend, and I'd stabilized at 251 on the Friday. We went out of town, decided to do a hike on the Sunday. She got me up at 5 a.m, no breakfast, went into not a terrible hike, just a few miles. And then I think that's maybe enough to stimulate my metabolism enough to start burning body fat quite heavily again, because I'm down to 244 was my weight today. So everything's really on track. Training wise, as I said, just finished this specific strength phase. Now going into a deload week, and then really hit it hard the next 4 weeks or 4.5 weeks until I fly out to Iowa. The other news is luckily, or I was lucky enough to get one of these a few weeks ago from Exogeny. So it's, if you can read that, it's back to front. So basically what this is, it's I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are aware of what it is. It's like a variable resistance, I don't even know what you'd say. It's basically a variable resistance piece of equipment that you can simulate a lot of things with this. You can simulate truck pulls, Use it for sled drag, arm over arm. The resistance goes from, it says 1 ounce to 600 pounds. From talking to other guys about this, this laptop just froze. From speaking to other guys about this, apparently when it gets to, you don't have to really put the resistance up that much and it gets very, very hard. So I've not really played with it too much just yet. Because of like the way we had that training block, we've not really done, or we've not really had much experience with this yet. So that's the next phase of training, and all the active recovery stuff is going to be based around this piece of equipment. Exergenie were kind enough to give me one in terms of basically as a test model. So now the plan is I'll be putting out some videos on how I'm going to be using it for my training, how to use it in general, how to change the resistance and set it up. Just a lot of different informative videos about how to actually use this and make the most of this training tool. So I'm really excited about actually getting my hands on it more than now we have the specific training for the last few weeks of the Nationals. There's not really that much to tell new-wise. Just I'm actually very motivated for Nationals. Colorado State I was excited for that, but I felt quite depleted going into that contest. We had to hit diet really, really hard. Some people may know I started my diet at 274 on March 11th, and I came down pretty fast, and we worked hard to get me for weigh-ins. And for this contest now, I feel great. I mean, my weight's still coming down. It's coming down very steadily. My strength is up. Some of the weights I was pressing, 8 weeks ago, I can now Viper press them for reps. It's no problem. So Nationals is going to be very interesting. It's sort of different events compared to the Nationals last year as a heavyweight, and it went not to plan as I would have liked. So now with the events this year being a little bit different, I'm really intrigued to see how the 231 class is. 231 has a background to be very competitive and very fast paced, and the events this year for Nationals are very mobile based. Weight wise, not terribly heavy, but I think the weights are a really good choice. I think Dion and her team did a really, really good choice of actually picking those numbers for this contest. So it's going to be very interesting few weeks. I'm trying to keep up to date with what people are doing online. I mean, I try and look and see what people do, but at the same time not, because at the end of the day, really, all you can do in strongman, and many people know this, is that you can only do what you can do. There's no point worrying about others' performances. You go out and do what you do and do the best you can possibly do. So, the plan for the next few weeks, I have a deload this week. Get a little bit, back off a little bit. We hit it hard the last 4. So, deload. And then it's just really specific training, dial things in for the last 4, get the exergenie going, really see how that is as a training tool. I think it's going to be very beneficial. I think having that is going to be really, really different to things I've used before, and different to a sled as well, which should be pretty interesting because the last few weeks I've just been doing sled and prowler push. So, that's us pretty much out of time. I'm trying to cut these down a little bit compared to the first one that I did, which was extremely long. Anyway, there's going to be more of these real soon. I'm going to do a video probably about midweek when we use the exergenie for the first time. I'll do a little bit of a setup video and just talk about how I've got it set up this week. And then we'll do some updates. Probably going to do an update every week, just with how things are going for Nationals. I want to try and get some more questions and answers going. That's a big part of why I started the blog, trying to use my knowledge, my experience of the sport to help others. So, for me, peace out. I'm going to post this on Starting Strongman, and we'll get some questions going for next time. Have a good one.